Y hola amiguitos de YouTube, otra vez nosotras con un nuevo video, pero una nueva dinámica, en la cual están invitados nuestros hombres. Y el título de este video es ¿por qué andar con una mexicana? Vamos a hacer esta dinámica en español e inglés, porque pues el español de Jin todavía es muy poquito y quiero que pues, pueda explayarse en las preguntas que vamos a hacer el día de hoy. Entonces, primero vamos a empezar nosotras, pero me gustaría más bien que se presenten ellos en español. Yo sé que Owen ha practicado bastante y Jin ya va dándole pasos agigantados a esta presentación. Entonces, empezamos contigo, Owen.
Hola, soy Owen. Should I even introduce myself?
Your name, your age.
Okay. Soy de Canadá. Tengo 27 años.
Y es mi
Y
esposo.
nada más.
Se le olvidó lo más
Aquí
importante.
dice,
¿Qué
aquí.
pasa ahí? Okay, sweetie, you will introduce yourself in Spanish.
Spanish. Okay. Hola, soy Jin, me llamo Ft.Jin. And yo tengo 27 años. And
Where are you from?
from Korea.
Muy bien. Creo que hace falta que estos hombres hagan más videos. Anyway. Bueno, pero primero vamos a empezar con una historia sobre nosotras para que vean que los mexicanos sí hablamos inglés o hacemos el intento de hablar inglés. Entonces, cuéntanos, Liz, ¿cómo es tu historia con el inglés? ¿Cómo aprendiste? ¿Cómo empezaste? ¿Por qué te llamó la atención el idioma?
Bueno, pues la verdad es que yo siempre he tenido contacto con el inglés desde hace muchísimos años, desde que iba en el kinder. Entonces ya pues empecé a aprenderlo en la escuela, yo creo que como todos. Y ya después con el tiempo tuve la oportunidad de ir a Inglaterra varias veces. La última vez que fui me quedé allá alrededor de 5 meses. Y pues fue una experiencia muy bonita. La verdad es que a partir de ahí pude hablar un poco más fluido el inglés. Y pues no ha sido un trayecto nada fácil, pero la verdad es que ya lleva mucho tiempo. Y eso me ha rendido bastantes frutos.
El inglés sí funciona, chicos. Inténtenlo. Muy bien.
Cuéntame
Pues,
tú, Andy. ¿Qué tal?
exacto, conmigo, porque hashtag escuelas bilingües, porque nuestros papás se preocuparon porque habláramos otro idioma, pero lamentablemente es que mis maestros siempre desertaban. O sea, desde el kinder hasta sexto de primaria, mis maestros se iban. Estaban 2 meses y me cambiaban otro y me cambiaban otro, no pasaba del verbo to be, no pasaba de nada. Hasta sexto año que tuve al coordinador de la escuela de inglés y pues sí me fue muy mal, amigos. Me hizo hablar poquito, bueno, por lo menos entenderlo. En ese entonces, a mis escasos 12 años, ya podía entenderlo. Pero siempre cargaba mi diccionario. De hecho, por ahí en mi casa sigue ese diccionario viejo de Larousse. Español, inglés, inglés, español, que era, ¡pum!, mi guía para todo. Posteriormente, en la secundaria es que mi nivel pues siguió en el mismo hasta la preparatoria, en donde me tocó, si todos los que me están viendo cursaron en la Sayenesa, en la preparatoria se han de acordar del profesor Omashi, que él venía de África, ojalá me esté viendo. Pues nada, él me hizo hablar, me hizo certificarme. Yo desafortunadamente nunca he tenido la oportunidad de ir al extranjero. Y pues justamente en el chatroom donde conocí a mi querido Ginny, es donde yo practicaba inglés. Y pues nada, tampoco ha sido fácil. Creo que primero fue vencer la barrera de no puedo, no quiero, no me gusta, hasta que pues bueno, rinde sus frutos. No solamente el haber conocido a Jin, sino en el que pueda hablar con otras personas, puedo entender otras cuestiones. Entonces es bastante satisfactorio. Chicos, no se rindan, siempre den el 100 por el 100 para aprender otro idioma. Llámese inglés, italiano, francés, coreano, lo que quieran, pero den el 100. Muy bien. So, now, for you, we can ask how you speak English because you are native. So, I will do for Donji. Sweetie, when you start to learn English, tell to everyone how you start to learn, how you start to speak, why English and not other languages.
because in the Korea we have to take an exam, so
A little more slowly, I think, because
I learned the English.
in the academy, but school or
School and academy.
from when?
Just-
Elementary, high
just-
school,
Just school, include school and academy. Exam.
that all. So your whole life you've been studying English.
Yes, for exam.
For the test. Okay. But
But I couldn't speak because for exam.
Yo
um,
tampoco.
he couldn't speak. He
Neither
started,
did he.
he started to speak more because meet me. So I think his English is not so well because I'm not native. But we can communicate, so that is so great.
Mhm.
Anyway, so let's go to the second question. Okay. Owen, now your turn because you didn't talk in the last question. So before to meet Liz, what you know about Mexico?
What did I know about Mexico?
Mm.
In terms of Mexico, I didn't know much. I had traveled to Mexico a couple of times with my family, and so I got to experience some of it. It was a stark contrast from what Canada has been to me, because Canada is always rainy and you almost never see the sun, and when you see the sun, it's either kind of cold or blazing hot. And Mexico was kind of like the sunny place to go for my family, so it was like our chance to kind of be on vacation.
Mhm.
And so I didn't know much. I just knew what my parents told me, which was overall pretty good.
Mm. So, for example, in school or with your friends, never think about Mexico, didn't talk about it, nothing. So sad.
Very minimal amounts. Like, of course, in history classes, yes, we of course talked about Mexico, but not really outside of that. Not in any classes other than like maps and in history, like very specific situations. But it wasn't really the kind of thing that came up in school outside of very specific things.
De hecho, él siempre me decía, no, yo solamente voy a vivir en México un año y después nos vamos a otro lugar.
Y ahora se quiere
Él es
regresar.
el que quiere volver.
Okay, Tunchini.
Esperemos no
Ah.
les pase así.
I don't think so.
I
No,
hope
you
fall in
have
love
to
with,
say
with Mexico as well.
You can't not.
you have to say what you knew before meet me about Mexico.
About Mexico.
Before me, what you know about Mexico?
Only I watched it from the comedy program, the Mexico, the Gonzales,
González.
the Mustache. Is that all for Mexico? About Mexico?
Taco. Tequila.
No.
Tequila no. ¿Qué pasó ahí, Tequila Don Ramón?
What about cactus?
Cactus, right?
Yeah.
No, you know has.
Like this. And head.
Yeah. Recientemente,
How many hats have you tried on?
ni
¿Cuántos?
uno. No.
None. Yeah, of course.
From Fatima hat.
Mexico.
Ajá.
If you have a photo, you should post it here. If not,
No.
promise to take one
I
someday.
had to take one. Sí.
We'll let you know.
Recently he called to his big sister, and she has a cactus with a hat and like a poncho. that cactus that dance. So I feel really racist about it.
Does she have a fake mustache too?
Yeah, they must have a fake mustache.
Yeah.
Do you need any help with the question?
Doesn't have a mustache. Aquí está la evidencia de que hay un cactus en casa de su hermana, de esos de peluche que bailan.
hermoso.
Porque hay bebito en
Tenemos que ver
casa.
esa foto con más detalle.
Con el high resolution, sí, claro que sí. La voy a dejar justo en este video para que vean cómo nuestros cactus han llegado a Corea. En fin.
Okay. Next question.
The next question. Okay. Now we will go back to your memories, Owen. So, how did you feel when was the first time to meet Elise face to face? How was? Because before we talk about it, but in our how to say? I forgot. In about us, but now we want to know about both in this. How you feel, the fear, all the emotions that you got maybe in the airplane too.
For me, it was very not overwhelming, but it was very I can't even think of the word, but it was like I have all these emotions for this person, but I haven't seen her yet, and then when I saw her, it was like I had to put the two together, and so it was like I had to realize that this person in front of me was the person that I've been messaging all this time. And so for me, it wasn't like it would take like days or anything, but it was just like I had to realize that it's like actually the same person, because my mind was like, come on, she's not real. There's no way she's real. But then it was like, I think very quickly though, I was like, nope, she's real. This is the like reality. I didn't just come here and end up lonely and nobody here to pick me up.
Ah, so sweet. You will make me diabetes like when you marry.
But that's going to be in another video.
Other video, yeah. So, to complete this idea, how was the first goodbye? I know that just you been separate just 5 days, right? But how was?
Yeah, they were 5 days.
No, guys, that is not a real goodbye. But anyway, say to me.
She cried like crazy when I was leaving.
Oh, really?
And she couldn't let me leave and go into the airport without her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, because she was working,
super,
right?
super hard.
So
Yeah,
from
I
the
was
apartment to
working,
the
so-
airport, you've been crying, Owen?
No, he was not
No,
crying.
I
He
was-
not cried.
I was a stone-faced killer.
No.
And then, like, I was just super, super sad. And he was having a blast with his mom, with his brother,
We just watched Disney
visiting
movies.
everyone,
We just watched Disney movies.
watching Disney movies. While I was just crying alone in the apartment.
Exactly. So sad. No.
How was it? And now, how was it for you, Jean? How did you feel the first time that you met her? Because we all have heard a lot about Angie's perspective, but me personally, I have never had the chance to ask you. How did you feel? What did you think? How was it for you?
When you come from Korea. First, because it's a long trip, right?
Really, I was so nervous because for the Asian boys, the across the world goes over her. So I studied a lot from the YouTube how to arrive to LA and how to go. So at the time too, I was so nervous. And finally, I arrived in Mexico. When I saw her, I really, I thought so beauty. And the skin color is cappuccino vanilla. Really, yeah, until now, I remember totally. So, really so beauty. And I finished the nervous.
Suppose that you have to kiss me first, right? But how was?
Yeah, think about it during one day, right? 24 close to 10 hours.
23 hours.
23 hours. I couldn't wash and I couldn't brush my tooth, but we tried to kiss. So at the time I was.
No, but I remember that in your little backpack,
Yeah.
you have for something mint
Yeah.
because I saw. So I think he before get out of the gate, he went to the bathroom and and that's all.
He wanted to do the same, but
Yeah.
he didn't have time. So he can understand you. And he was only 6 hours on the plane. So I cannot imagine for 23 hours. Like,
He
Every
was 6
time
hours
something
just
like
in
that.
LA. I remember because he called to me in my office, so I was with him, and he didn't sleep in the airplane correctly. Was uncomfortable. Just he did it because a woman. Boys both. Now you have to say about the first goodbye. How that little mess story.
About mission, right?
Yeah, but we called that day and it was July 1st. The mission was send Korean to Korea. But tell about that day in your feeling.
People go to trip. I say to the employee, he live in 1 year, 2 years in the Canada because of the university. But he say, Dongjian, you have to be careful about lose airplane. Because he did. So blah blah blah. So we talk about that, but I didn't know at that time. I didn't know how we do lose by airplane, right? So, say arrived the airport and we cried and say goodbye, and I just make a ride. But at that time, that employee say to me, please show me your ticket and other ticket too.
The immigration pass.
Yeah, but I don't have because during 1 week I live in like illegally.
Because he got out of the gate the first day and he didn't go for pick up that pass.
No. So really, I was what the? So in front of me, the Korean old woman say, you have to do something, blah 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 blah. Huh? And I will lose. And go out. I call to her. Hey, I have something, blah blah.
No call, you message to me. You
First
said,
message?
I think
I
I missed the airplane.
and get out, and I call to Asian Air, and
Air.
call to the Aero Mexico. Was totally mess. Maybe we can show later, or is the picture right?
I
Already
did in the other video about it. I did. Yeah, that was my daddy. I don't know what he thought on that moment, but now we can remember it. Little funny. But on that moment was totally stressed. We finished at 9 p.m. right? But what about the real goodbye? How was?
Yeah. was fine because totally I can go to home. But when I took airplane, was so sad and I cried during 2 hours, 3 hours. So next to the woman, continue watching.
Was the woman that gave to you food? No,
No,
that was the
Korea.
Asian airplane. One woman gave to him her food
Because I was so hungry.
because he was so hungry. I can't believe it. I don't know
That
if
is so
he has a
kind.
hole in the stomach because he's not getting weight and he eats a lot. Okay. Now, after our so sad story,
Lucky you.
I'm sorry.
He's very lucky. I'm so sorry. I wish I could eat everything and not gain weight, but that is only a privilege for very few people.
Yeah. Just I smell the concha and I get 2 or 3 kilos. No ma.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I understand that.
So, next question is, how is to date a Mexican? Owen, before when was couple, no marriage.
How is it?
How was?
Very fiery.
Oh no, this is familiar time yet.
Unfortunately, it's not that kind of fiery.
Yeah, very fiery, very expressive. Where I'm used to being very quiet and calm and not doing too much and just chilling out, it became the opposite, where there's always some kind of action, some kind of things happening, and a lot of what's the word?
Just tell me.
Just like a lot of things just always around, and it's like very fiery, very passionate in many ways.
Many ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But very sweet and very loving.
What do you think you like the most?
What do I like the most about being with a Mexican? Like before I married you, or in general?
In general.
In general, I would say the fact that I can feel confidently that I'm taken care of. I know that even if I forget to eat, that there's somebody there to tell me to eat. And
with the food already.
And there's always somebody there to, like, who's very similar to me and who has the same things that she likes. And yes, that's pretty normal for any good, healthy relationship. But like, it almost feels like there are no requirements or rules, just because we both like the same things. We both like to do the same things. We like to eat the same food. And my wife is a Mexican, so she also, the food that she likes, she really enjoys eating.
So you feel like a work?
That's one of my favorite things, is to eat.
Yeah, so in few words, he enjoys the food. Like, that will be the end of it.
Everyone
He
enjoys
enjoys
food.
me cooking and taking care of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How is it for you to date a Mexican?
That sounds so bad.
It's like it's like with something SpongeBob, like. So anyway, we should say any moment, say ha ha ha, ha, and and be happy and proud, and but I like it really.
Just because I am funny? And because I'm funny.
Yeah, it's so funny and honest. But not all.
Not all the Mexicans are
I
honest.
don't know, not all the Mexicans.
But you feel, what else you feel? Like cold, warm, take care, I push you, I say always yes sir, no sir.
When you see that SpongeBob, that film, so friendly and funny and honest and warm, be friend, that film.
Okay.
So the same questions that I asked for Owen. What do you like the most about dating a Mexican person? Like, what do you like the most about Angie?
Honest.
My honest? This
He's
is
very
because
honest.
he say he never think about Mexico just because of me.
I didn't know where is the Latin America, where is the Mexico.
Come on. We are next of United States. And Korea is so close of United States. I mean the relationship. How you didn't know?
Liz is also incessantly honest.
Yeah, I cannot control my mouth, especially my face. I think that's the biggest problem.
Always
Like
is a
if I'm not
problem
being
that
honest.
you can't hide your face, never. On my memories, I remember in the university your face of tu madre.
Like,
Anyway, go to the next question. If not, we will talk about other things that nothing about this video. So, Owen, next question. Do you think language has been a struggle for your relationship?
No.
No. So Liz is so great
At
on
any-
English. She can express
Well,
everything on English correctly.
Soft and simple, yeah. There's been no trouble with language. Like, yes, when I met her parents, of course, I had to learn Spanish properly to speak with her mom and her dad. But that only goes so far, like, because we were even talking, and her dad and I, even before I could speak any Spanish, he and I were able to get along very easily and very well, basically just as monkeys, just grunting and
that is not true. Don't believe him.
But then, of course, like, I like languages, so I was happy to learn Spanish anyways. So I just learned how to speak Spanish, and then was able to speak with her parents, speak with her friends, and we have good relationships with all of them. So there's no downside to any of it for me, because we haven't had any real language barriers beyond the beginning.
But I do remember a couple of times where language has been a problem, because sometimes I don't fully understand like the whole meaning of things. Like there hasn't been many times, to be honest, but there have been a couple where I just don't simply understand the real meaning of that. I remember a very big fight
She
that
gets
we
mad
had.
at me.
Yeah, I remember a very big fight that we had that was due to the word silly. Like in Spanish, even if somebody calls you bobo, that will be the exact translation of silly. We don't allow that. To us, it's something that is very offensive. But in here, in English, being called silly is just like,
that's silly.
it's even being funny. It's just like being like,
It literally just means like being playful and having fun with things. Like, it can be mean. Like, if you just say it repeatedly, that like when somebody's trying to be serious, just calling them silly, like that can mean like they're like, but unless it's very specifically mean, it always just means like wants to have fun, wants to laugh.
yeah. But I just got very angry and I asked him not to call me that way, even though it wasn't like very mean. But I just felt like that is not good. So I think that was the only time that we got into a real argument about somebody being well, about something related to language, honestly.
That could happen because, well, for us it's little, a lot, mucho harder because the English is the.
I really cannot imagine. Yeah.
It's in the middle of us. We learn and we try, and when we don't know the word, we have to translate. So what do you think about it, Ft.Jin? Do you think the language is something that makes trouble for us?
Make trouble? Sometimes can, but we always try to understand each other. So it's fine if I say to you, 왜 지금 너 이거 못 알아들어? If I say like this way, we can't understand. But we try to understand, and sometimes I request to her, oh, I can't understand well. Can you say it again? So again, she never angry about that, and always she try understand me, and me too. I try to do. So I think I know.
I think big troubles, no. But two, I remember one day we couldn't express correctly what we feel. So on that moment, we decided to use the translator and say correctly what we wanna, because for us it's so hard that he learned Spanish quickly and that I learned Korean quickly, because first his language, as I know, he has this more extensive vocabulary, and well, for me. Anyway, but that is true. What we learned from the beginning, that we have to be responsible with our words, and if the other can't understand, we have to try and try and try and try, and maybe in the way that we are trying, we forgot why we got angry. So, I think big troubles, no. Until now.
Well, I think that's helpful at the end of the day. So that's very good for you too.
Yeah, I grow a lot in this relationship, really, because I think I'm more spicy. But with Onjin, no, I make my levels go totally down.
Okay. Next question.
Next question.
I'm the non-spicy one.
What?
Yeah. He's not the spicy one.
I think we are spicy, but for each other, no.
Yeah, no, I think we're not.
The next question is Owen. No, espérate. Why you repeat this question, Liz?
I don't know what I wrote.
You made this question before. Anyway, boom, throw to the trash. Okay, the last question is something so sentimental. I need really, really that you touch your heart and say honestly and with all the feeling that you can. Okay? If you could travel back to before you send the first text, would you decide to leave everything again?
Yes, of course.
Exactly, totally. You will not change anything. Anything.
I think to some extent, I would change the timeline. Not so much that I would change the things that happened throughout the relationship, but I would have made the relationship happen sooner. When we were younger.
You get more time, no?
Yeah, exactly. I would have. The only thing I would have changed is I would have gone to Mexico much sooner. Like not sooner in our relationship. Like take the relationship as here, and just go like way to the left, as far as I can.
I will change my last trip to England to come here to Canada and to meet him. I swear that if we have met before, we will have been together forever. Like I don't know, like I just feel so confident and so relaxed in the relationship. It's such a healthy relationship. So, and I'm so sure that he's the love of my life that I wouldn't change anything else.
And me too, and me neither. There's nothing else to change but just the fact that it just started too late.
You're cute. You're the cutie.
And what about you? Yeah, we are the cuties.
That's my name.
So, Tonjin, if you can go back to past, you will change something?
Changing something? I think go back. Before I told you that God give to us the great moment, so I can get great time, job, and come back here and live together. Everything is like at a great moment. So we
exactly in the moment.
Yeah, we don't have something problem when I come to here.
Nothing problem like I miss an airplane.
No. When I tried to get the job and I applied, I got here and directly I come here. Thing happened, that problem. Like Always when I think about that, that God gives us the great moment. You have to meet this time.
I think I'm that kind of person that always asks this kind of question because psychology is psychology, and curious is curious, and gossip is gossip. So I asked to him before this question, and I was thinking too that if I meet him before, maybe I avoid some troubles in my mind because he's a so kind, honest, and lovely boy. But that is true. We got in the moment what we need. So if we try to change something, maybe now we fight or don't take seriously. And I really feel that God loves us because when he come back to Korea 2 months later, or 1 month, no, 3 weeks later, no, or 2, no me acuerdo, but close up a little time, he applied to the company and he got it. So
Without Spanish skill.
without Spanish, because
Without
almost
license.
all the vacancies was with Spanish. So I think we are the favorite of God, really. Doesn't matter that I have to cancel a ticket to Korea.
Oh my God.
Because we paid a lot.
We pay about it.
Yeah, Owen was saying like just like his job because we were super lucky as well that he was able to fly to Mexico and to be living in Mexico while still working for a Canadian company. And then after we got married, he went out of that position. So I just think like sometimes time is weird, but at the same time you need to live what you need to live at that moment. And maybe sometimes it's just that you cannot be together and you have to stay to that. But times will get better and you'll have the chance to. So-
Anything else that you wanna add about this video? Anything you wanna say to our so small people that is watching us? Owen, don't you?
Gossip is gossip. Chisme es chisme.
Chismecito, ¿verdad, amor?
Toda la vida. Chisme.
I think really that this is something so great to date a Mexican. You will love chisme. And you will learn how to get exactly the good chisme. Right, amor?
No.
Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, like Owen used to hate gossiping. Like he was the worst.
Not
I
so
will-
much hate gossiping, I just didn't do it.
Oh my god. I will ask him whatever. And he was like, I don't know. I didn't ask.
I don't know to who remind me.
Who?
No sé.
And now let me give you hope. Because nowadays Owen enjoys gossip as much as I do. So,
Yeah, I'm starting
yeah.
to enjoy it because now he's like chismecito.
Yeah, let me tell you something. And, my dad and my grandpa were the two people that I met that gossip the most.
For
Just
us,
to
it's my
give
mom,
you
right?
like an idea that men can be a little bit more interested in gossip than women.
Muy bien, pues no sé, Liz, si tú quieres agregar algo para la audiencia después de que vamos a tener que traducir todo esto.
Well, I just wanted to thank you for
Pero
being
en
able
español,
to.
mija, ya no estás hablando con ellos, estás hablando con la audiencia.
I'm talking to Don Jin.
Ah, perdón.
Thank
Te
you
amo.
very much for giving us your time and for explaining everything to us. Y pues a todos nuestros seguidores, muchas gracias también por vernos. Es un gusto para mí presentarles por fin a mi querido Owen y que podamos tener este tiempo bonito de poder compartir un poquito más nuestra relación.
Exactamente, creo que eso es lo que le gusta al público, el chisme, pero con todo por los protagonistas. Muy bien, chicos, pues bueno, esto es todo en nuestro video del día de hoy. No se olviden en suscribirse, darle like a este video, compartirlo con la hermana, con la novia, con la amante, con la abuelita, con quien quieran, pero va a estar traducido, no se preocupen. Y préndanle a su campanita para que estén atentos a todos los videos que vayamos subiendo. Sigan a nuestras redes sociales, Instagram, Facebook, vean nuestros reels, TikTok también. Entonces, pues, una manita arriba significa que vamos progresando. Gracias a todos.